Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're working on it another day, trying to get the body work done here on the Supra so that we can get it off for primer. So I said yesterday that I'd get to this here. This is where we're going to cut. We're going to fold these up, the tabs. I think, guys, I've decided that I am going to come to the bottom of this secondary lip, because this lip is a structural and it goes all the way up. It goes, you know, I mean, probably up to about here. Inside it wraps up and around. So I've got a line on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. Now, I mean, most people are cutting them. I mean, they show in the instructions to cut it with a zip cut or whatever. I should be able to cut them with a good pair of snips. And the reason I want to cut them with snips is I just don't want to take any material away. I want as much material left there as possible, so when I fold it up, it's making a full coverage, or as much coverage as we can. So I'm going to see if I can get this done today. I don't know if I'm going to get, like I said before, I need to cut these out here for the lights. Don't know if I'm going to get to that today. I'm going to try to get to it, but for now, I'm going to see if we can get this, get these sides cut out and put on correctly. Alright, so now you can see what I was talking about. We're cutting these, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend these up, and it's going to make a new wall that goes across here like a new inner fender. And obviously there's going to be a bunch sticking out. We're going to tack it all the way along, cut all the excess off, and then we'll fill that in, any gaps there, like in between we'll fill in with body fill, sand it all out. We're going to feather it out right into the fender, and should look pretty good when it's done. So I only went about an inch in between each one, maybe just a bit more than an inch. I'd rather have more and have it a more fluent arch than having, you know, great big gaps, 2-3 inches, 1, 2, 3 all the way across. So it's going to take a little more time, but I think at the end result's going to look a little nicer. So here's what I'm checking on, guys. So up underneath there, now obviously this here is going to be obviously smoothed out, but I'm just looking, you can see up there, it's right where it needs to be, but there, right there, this part here that I didn't want to grind off is down probably a ½ inch further than the edge. Now it's okay because this is where the tire sits, so it's got all of that clearance because it really concaves up in there. But I'm just contemplating how that's going to turn out, because it's going to go, let's see if I can do it. So it's going to go, the fender's going to go up, then it's going to kind of come down to the edge with a slight downhill slope, because I didn't want to grind that piece off. Now again, there's a ton of clearance. So you can see, again, right on the edge there, all the way along. I think we're going to be fine. I think it's going to look okay, but I do have to bend them up as opposed to straight out. And I don't think that I can grind that off without damaging more than I'd like to. So I'm going to keep looking at it here for a sec and see what I can come up with. Well, I think I'm going to grind that off. I don't like the way it's turning out. I feel like it's a little bit too much. like it's a little bit too much of a arc backwards, and I'd rather it be coming down so it smooths up in instead of kind of cutting back. So I mean, I really am kind of concerned. Well, so this bracket is holding this inner fender where it's supposed to go. But what I'm thinking is that if I take that off, when I bend these up and then weld this edge, this whole edge is going to be welded, that edge is now going to hold that inner fender where it needs to go. So I should be able to take that off without any repercussions, I think. I'm going to do it anyway, because like I said, I don't like the way it's cutting back. I want it to be nice and smooth. You know, right now bags is winning the vote by a long shot. If it goes on bags and you bag out at a show or something, like I don't want it sitting on that ridge. So I think I'm going to grind it down and see what we come up with. So to show you guys, so there's what I tried to do. You can see that I'm real careful not to hit the paint underneath, because I don't want to ruin that there. So I just, a couple welds that I need to ground down there, I ground down the big parts. I should be able to pry this apart and then cut it across the top, and then it'll leave me more room, and I can cut this back to here, and then I think I'll be a lot happier with that than the way I was doing it. So a little bit more work, but I think at the end result is going to be a much better product. Okay, so what I've done, like I said, I cut that back way up inside there so that now I can take these cuts and extend them up, and it's going to come straight out or even on a bit of an up angle, which will make a nicer radius. It's going to make a nicer job at the end. Now I think what I'm going to do, you're probably going to see me, I'm going to hit that with some black paint up in there. Just because it's exposed metal now, I would hate, not that any moisture or anything's going to get in there when we're done, but I would hate to see this start to rust out and cause the problem. So I'm just going to blast some black paint up in there. You're never going to see it. And then I'll bend these up. We'll get it all welded up and fixed up. And then I'll feel better about it for sure. So, like I said, I just straightened it out. I straightened these teeth back out. And then up in there, I just hit it with I cleaned it with brake clean, just to get any debris or thing off there. And then I just hit any of the exposed metal where I was sanding with a little bit of black paint, just to make sure that down the road, you know, we're not gonna, I highly doubt we're gonna have any problems with it. I doubt anybody's gonna be driving this in the salt or anything like that. But like I said, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So figured I'd hit that with a little bit of paint. We'll wait a minute for it to dry and see if it turns out better. So this is why I did it. Now, when this here is all up, I know you can't see because these are in the way, but when these are all pushed up, see how it's gonna go straight or even up on a bit of an angle? That's what I was looking for. That's gonna give me the same arch inside there. It's gonna be nice instead of having it down here where it was and kind of flaring up. So this cut back. So again, it was a little more work. I think the other side will turn out a bit nicer because you can see here, this line is the first cut that I made all the way along. Then I had to straighten them out. That's what you saw me doing with the hammer. I was straightening this back out to get back to this second cut. So because it was already cut, it's hard to get that straight. Obviously the body fill will fix that up. But when we push that up and weld it in place, it's going to be mint. And then there's just those little jams. And like I said, the body fill will take care of that. We'll fan it all out, make it look all nice. But I got to get Dave or Chad or one of the welders here to weld it up, right? That's going to go up like that. So that'll go on, tack, tack, tack all the way along. And then once it's tacked all the way along, cut these off, and then we can put the fender on. So that's that. I don't know if I'll spin this around and see if I can get the other side half-assed, because there's nothing really else I can do until I don't want to cut those until I tack them, or at least have the welder here. If he, if Dave decides he wants them cut to weld it, that's fine. But like I say, once those are all welded into place, that'll really stiffen up that edge. We shouldn't have an issue. So I'm gonna spin this thing around and see if I can get to the other side. All right, guys. So I got this side done. Now I didn't bore you. Same thing, painted down in there on just the edge. So I didn't want to bore you. You just saw me do one side. I figured you didn't want to see me do another. But again, I knew this side was going to turn out a little bit better because I didn't bend it and then happen to straighten it out and then bend it again. These are all the first bends. But yeah, so that'll push up. We'll tack it all on there, all the way along. Zoop, cut it all off. And that'll be it. So that's it. You can see it's a nice arch, nice opening for the wheel. Bumpers and everything go on. Again, guys, I think I'm going to end the video there today. Didn't get those done today because I think it's going to take me some time. It'll probably be the next video because I do got to get them done before we can put on the side skirts and body kits and whatnot. So I will have to get those done eventually. But for today, I'm going to call it a day. So again, for those of you that watch the channel, I'm sure you're getting bored, but guys, we're cutting up by a Toyota Supra here. It's a Veilside 4509. It's a pretty crazy body kit, the only one in North America. It was voted on by you guys. You guys chose it, and we're giving this car away. Everything we do to the car, you guys vote on. There's still lots to vote on, and when it's done, one lucky subscriber is going to win it. You don't have to buy anything, no purchase necessary. You don't have to enter your name to do anything. All you've got to do for your chance to win this when it's done is subscribe to the channel. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you smash the notification, and we'll see you in the next video.